Hey, winners. I know it's the end of the month. Where you been, girl? I know I'm here. Listen, it's your girl, Dr. DDB, your Elite MD. Winners win. We are winning. I owe you this one, okay? Get into Coco's greens, man. We had an exceptional time making these greens. What we did not do is record us making these greens. That's why I'm up in here looking like this, and y'all like, what a pots and pans, girl. Child, what a pots and pans. But listen, all the best. I'm gonna have pictures. I got your ingredients. Wanna know why? Because Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving, just want to eat them because it's the winter time. Whatever your reason is for cooking these collards, I want you to know these things was swinging. So why I save it for myself? There's a couple of people that was like, D, show us what you talking about with these greens. I said, I got you. So that's why I'm here today, you guys. We are cooking greens with Coco, man. Every time we like get together as a family, everybody's like, Coco's greens is the bomb, especially my family. So yeah, man, get into it. So this first little snippet is just the ingredients, you guys, and then what mine looked like, and then I'm gonna come back and tell you what I did to them. All right. All right, my honey, you see those ingredients, right? They are beautiful and colorful. Does my husband use these? Some of them. I like color in the greens, forgive me. But the main thing is, listen, you need onion, you need bell pepper. Y'all know we from New Orleans, we use the chili. My husband was like, don't you put no celery in my greens. I said, yes, sir. So we got a little bit of fresh garlic. But one thing that I love when I cook these greens is I use this this like Instapot kind of ninja, whatever you call it, but you can saute in the same pot. But this time I use a pressure cooker, and y'all, they came out so good. So normally I cook it in like a slow cooker kind of instant pot thing. But if you want to try it the way I did and put it in the pressure cooker, I promise you won't be disappointed. So unbeknownst to me, there is saute on our pressure pot. So I put a little olive oil at the bottom of that thing, and those ingredients I just told you guys, I threw them right on in. So that's that colorful beautifulness that you see in there. So it's a purple onion, half of a Vidalia onion. It's a green and an orange bell pepper, and a little bit of your garlic. Now listen, I see right here, I'm seasoning, okay? I'm seasoning right here because I want these seasonings to kind of go through my greens. So salt, pepper, I think I put a few things on there. A lot of people have different kind of seasonings they put in different things. So like in New Orleans, y'all, my mama, we did seasonal. McCormick with the blue top seasonal. Like that's how we roll on everything. I'm talking about the chicken, the Cornish hens, the steak, anything that we was cooking, the beans, anything, we had that. You know, as things kind of progress, you know what I mean? You know, we leave a little things to be like, maybe I could use a little Tony's over here. I'm gonna use some Slap Your Mama over here. So typically when you kind of get into like your Creoles and stuff like that, you want more of a spice, and like Slap Your Mama and maybe Tony Satcheries, but you can use whatever you like. For me, I don't like my greens to be salty, so for this I stuck to the seasonal, because you have to be light with your hand, you know, like you gotta be light with the little sprinkle with Tony's and stuff, because if not, you know, your stuff come out salty. So as I'm wilting this down with the olive oil, I'm seasoning it, and you just let that go for about 5-10 minutes. You don't want it to burn, you don't want it to overcook and it be brown. You still want a little color to it, okay? All right, be right back. I know y'all like, D, what's that? You don't even do meat. What is that? Listen, I take the greens out and my husband does enjoy. This is a smoked turkey wing. I try to give you a picture so you can read. It's a smoked turkey wing. After you get through wilting your vegetables, we threw that smoked chicken wing in there, and then you let it sear in there with your vegetables. Some people may do it a little different, but that's just how we rocked. So we let it just kind of sit in there for a minute before we pressure cooked it. Okay, and then you're going to see, after I put it in there and I cooked it down, I don't know, you can give it 5-10 minutes. Then I take a little cup of chicken broth. I pour it in there with the vegetables and the smoked turkey wing, and then I put it on pressure cook for, I think it does for the vegetable. I put it on vegetable, I think the whole time. So I think it was like 20 minutes, you guys. You can just press the little button. If you want to put it on meat, you can do that. You can put it on vegetables, you can do that. You really just want all of this stuff to kind of combine together is the whole goal. Okay, and if you're doing it in a saute pot, it's still the same thing. You just put it down there and you just let it cook down for 20 minutes. So don't get too disturbed by this pressure cooker. All right, my loves. So while that's doing this thing for 20 minutes, I've been having my fresh bundle of collards soaking in like a water bath. However way you want to clean your vegetables, you do that. Okay, I'm not getting into controversy on how we clean the greens, but let me tell you one thing my husband said while he was cleaning them. I'll show you this picture. He was like, the one thing you don't want is for somebody to take a bite of your greens and there's any type of sediment in your greens. You can't handle dirt green. He said they're gonna talk bad about you. They're gonna be like, I can't be eating her greens. They was seasoned right, but that little sediment, you can't do that. But these greens, this fresh bundle we got, actually was pretty clean. The water and everything was actually good, so they did a good job cleaning these collards. But you'll see we soaked them, and then we laid them out on paper towels and things like that. And we just kind of tore them like by the stem. So if the stem is in the middle, we tore this half and this half, and then we tore them into chunks. And we separated, and I'll show you a picture of this, but real simple. And you can wait to do that while you're cooking, because it really doesn't take that long. Now, if you're cooking a big old pot for everybody, it might be a little different. You can do this beforehand, but this is when we chose to do it. And my husband was real serious about making sure his greens was clean. Okay, so you too, be serious about cleaning your greens. And to give you a very specific detail about him, that the gentleman had a hairy back. Wow. Y'all, and that is basically the to-do. So once that's all done, your smoked turkey, whatever you got in there with your vegetables and your broth should be looking, you know, real good. The meat probably falling off a little bit. I didn't overcook mine to fall all throughout the greens. But then you take your greens and you add them in there. Now, I put it on vegetable again, and I pressure cook mine, but what you can do is just throw your little chunks inside of your pot and cook them down. That was probably, y'all, another maybe 10 minutes. And when I took it out, what I did was I mixed and stirred it all together. And I did not season it again until I tasted it, because, you know, you got a little salt with your smoked, you know, meat if you're using that. To be fair, if you don't use no meat at all, I promise you these things will still be delicious with a little chicken broth and the right seasoning, or vegetable broth, whatever you want to use. And then all of the seasonings you put on your onions and bell pepper and all that stuff. So you really want to just mix that all together and then taste it and see whether or not, you know, it's to your taste or not. My husband said that some people put a little sugar at the end to cut the bitterness, but we did not do that this time. He loved them as they were. I may have added just a tinge bit of whatever I thought was missing. That's all you have to do, but it definitely was not salt. I like a little kick, you know, in the greens. So have a way your palate desires them. You can fix it onto that. But I did do something at the end. But check out these greens, y'all. They was swinging. You saw it. You saw it. So at the end, y'all, listen, Coco's greens are phenomenal. I'm just a little smidget of a New Orleans girl, so I love some cabbage. You ain't got to be from New Orleans to love cabbage. Other people like cabbage. I'm just saying, like, the first time we made like a New Orleans, we had like greens and like smoked Gouda grits, and we had crab leg. king crab or something like that. We mix all this stuff together. It was so good. So I tossed a little bit of cabbage in the pot after I cooked, like I put the greens in there, and then because cabbage is, to me, cabbage cooked quicker than the collards, y'all. So I threw it in there in maybe 5 minutes. I'm telling you, that thing was done, and I mixed it up together. So that's what you see there. And if you want to try it, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. But at the end of the day, Coco was like, boo, you did your thing on them greens. So if you get a hand clap, a high five from either your mouth, your belly, or somebody else's, listen, these greens are worth it. And it's so close to Thanksgiving. You know, we all trying to get into, you know, hearty, warm meals is definitely a kicker to enjoy. And y'all, we ate it just like we didn't have no rice, but like we was eating greens this week. So listen, try it out. It was a fun time. But let me remind you of this. Sometimes you have every intention of doing something with your partner, with your kids, and maybe you want to catch a video and you want to save the moment, or you want other people to just witness how you are. And there was a lot going on in our family this weekend, and people that we love and adore heart ached, and maybe they just noticed how precious life was. And what we chose to do is just enjoy each other in this moment. So I want you to do that too. Get in the kitchen and cook, experience somebody else's time or outing or something like that. But just remember, the reason why we are getting into the holiday season is so that we can share love with others. There's no other reason. There's no other reasons, my loves. That's it. I know. And to eat these collards. But listen, I hope you enjoyed this video, man. We really enjoyed making the greens. We enjoyed eating them. I hope you felt like this video is helpful, and maybe you'll try it, okay, real soon. Listen, I adore you guys. Keep winning. This is Dr. DDB, your Elite MD. Winners win. I know you're winning. All right, y'all. Bye.